It's the time for a package from China. It's time for the Powkiddy met naughty switch. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So it's time for the new Powkiddy, but this is the X2 version. And you're thinking, hey, did you do a review about it? Yep, I did. But this is the new version? Yeah, it's a couple of months further. And I think they listened to the community because they made some changes because the first version was pretty damn shitty. So let's take a close look inside and let's see what we're going to get. But nowadays we're having the new X2 version, the improved edition. And yeah, you can already see it. We have a normal D-pad, different joysticks. But let's see what I'm going to get inside the package itself, because I'm always curious what kind of goodies we're going to get. Inside the package we're going to get the micro USB cable. Do I say it correctly? No, Wicked, it's in Type C. Ooh. And here we're having the Powkiddy toilet paper manual deluxe edition, or this is more like an unfoldable piece of toilet paper. With some basic explanation, how does it work with the HDMI connection, etc, etc. I think nobody's going to read the bloody thing. And this is more like a seal of quality of approval. Because now they know they are nutty. Inside the box also we're going to get these joystick caps. And yeah, I'm very happy they did, because the original things are pretty horrible. But I'm going to use, let's see, what kind of color do we use? I'm going to use the blue one. I'm going to use a pink one. Yeah. Okay, so with this version, the new improved edition, so far I know they only swapped out some components like the joysticks. They give a normal D-pad this time without the shitty 4 buttons like the previous model. They changed some things out, but the performance will be the same like the previous model. Okay, so the D-pad. Let's talk about my D-pad fetish. What do I think of it? I can say that it's good that they give us a normal D-pad, but it is a very long D-pad and it feels quite smooshy. And when we're going to play some games, you will notice that it will respond, but a long travel is not the best D-pad that you can get for a handheld. And nowadays we're having so many better options out there. So they give us a different D-pad, but it is still not perfect. Okay, so with the rubbery caps, I must say I really like this joystick. As you can see, it's a very tiny joystick. The travel is quite short, but they feel not horrible. And when we're going to play some games, you will notice that it plays not that bad. Okay, on this side we're having the A-B swapped around. The function is indeed more like the traditional Japanese or Asian consoles, that this is going to be the selection and this is going to be the back. Okay, so the travel of the buttons are quite long and they are slightly feeling different, but they are still as smooshy like the previous model. Over here we're going to find the 2 speakers that we're going to get with the system. But let's listen to it and what I think of it. The sound itself doesn't go very loud with the handheld, but I can say it sounds very clear and very crisp. I like it. Alright, so let's take a close look at the connections. As you can see over here, we're having the on and off switch and the volume control, the CF card slot, headphone jack, and also we're having the option for an HDMI. So for the HDMI solution, it works like a charm, plug and play without any problems. I do see that PlayStation 1 struggles and it got some frame dips here and there, so it's kind of a bummer in my opinion. It can be only with this game, but in the end, let's be honest, if it needs to be working, it needs to be working perfectly. What I do like is the position of the shoulder buttons over here. You can reach them very easily, but there is a downside to it. When you're flipping them over, you can see we're only having 2 shoulder buttons. So if you want to play more like PlayStation games, we are going to need 4 shoulder buttons. So basically, in my opinion, they messed it up. And like with the previous model, we're going to get this beautiful IPS display. So I can say this is what we're going to call next generation handhelds. No shitty LCD display and 7 inches of fun. Okay, so for the people who just wanted to see it here in quick comparison with the original Switch, you can see that it looks very similar in many ways. The display itself of the Powkiddy is way bigger. And to be honest, I think that is way better with the Chinese version. But we can't remove the Joy-Cons like with the original Switch. That is not possible, of course. They're more like the flaws that we're going to get. They don't even care, to be honest. But this is what you're going to get if it comes to the comparison. Okay, so for the people who are familiar here with the channels and stop and review, you can see that there are a very familiar menu. So we're having a history, game, movie, files more like browsing through the internal memory, settings, language, display theme. I'll give you a quick overview. They still messed it up with the English, but you can see we're having different languages. This is very interesting. We have an aspect ratio option, so I'm going to leave it on equal proportion. This means I'm going to get the 4:3 they're only going to give us 3 different, well, I like this one, 3 different versions of a background backlight. And as you can see, it was set up to stage 4, or the brightest of them all, waving a timeout. Connection handle, clear and restore, and that's it when it comes to the settings. The games, let's take a close look at the games. We're having CPS, FBA, Famicom, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Neo Geo, PlayStation 1 and Super Famicom support. Well, I think it's very interesting, and that is something that is not very common with Chinese handhelds. When you're pressing the on and off switch, you can see we're going to get this special menu from RetroArch, where we can use this system to do a quick load, quick save, go out of the game, or of course resume. Let's see how the D-pad plays, come on. Seems to be working. Whoa. Why are the controls not responding? See, stuff like this happens all the freaking time. Okay, so I want to boot it up a game and nothing is working anymore. It just locked me out with the controls. So I don't know what's going on, but it's time for the reset button. What's quite unique that you can play with the analog stick and a D-pad, so that's cool. But yeah, the 8-bit stuff just runs fine. Ow. So the Powkiddy X2 new edition, they didn't change a lot out, and it's still a very naughty system if you ask me. Yeah, the emulation itself is not bad at all. I did see some flaws with the controls, with the emulation, but it's basically the same story like the previous model. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. And for the people just searching for a real Switch, be aware of this fake body. Because if you're searching for a real Switch, you will be disappointed if you're going to get this one. Yeah, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and I will see you in the next video.